Hello and welcome. In this captivating video, we embark on a historical journey to explore the intriguing connection between two distant states during the early modern period, Ayutthaya and Safavid Persia. Despite being overlooked in the historical records, the unlikely alliance formed between these ancient Thai kingdom and the Persian Empire of the Middle East during the 17th century holds immense fascination. Before we delve into this fascinating topic, I'd like to express my gratitude for choosing to visit my channel today. Please enjoy the video. The origins of the Middle East and Southeast Asia's interconnections can be traced back to a long time before the advent of Islam and the modern era. Traders and merchants paved the way for these encounters, venturing into the vast Indian Ocean during the first few centuries of the Common Era. One notable early contact occurred during the reign of the Sassanid Empire, which thrived in present-day Iran from the 3rd to 7th century CE. Nevertheless, it was during the 15th century that we witnessed the emergence of formal diplomatic ties and the gradual deepening of relationships between states between these two regions. Throughout its history, Iran primarily focused on its position as a vital crossroads along the traditional Silk Road, displaying limited interest in maritime affairs. However, this perspective gradually shifted with the ascent of the Safavid dynasty, originating in the 13th century region of Azerbaijan in northwest Persia. The Safavids embarked on a slow but steady expansion of power under Safi al-Din, eventually extending their influence to the former frontiers of the Mongol Empire. In 1501, Shah Ismail successfully ousted the remnants of the Mongols from Iran and embraced Imamiyya, also known as the Twelver Shi'ism sect of Islam. The Safavid dynasty reached its zenith between 1587 and 1629 under the reign of Shah Abbas I. Isfahan, the newly established capital, emerged as a thriving hub of artistic and craft excellence within the Islamic world. During the 16th century, three significant Islamic empires flourished in the Middle East: the Ottomans in Turkey, the Mughals in India, and the Safavids in Persia. Frequent conflicts erupted between the Shiite Safavids and the Sunni Ottomans. Despite northern India being predominantly Sunni, the Safavids managed to maintain stable relationships with the Mughal dynasty. From the 14th to the 17th century, a considerable number of Iranians migrated to cities across the Indian subcontinent, assimilating and blending their traditions with the local population, thus forming a distinctive Indo-Persian community in South Asia. Shah Abbas I in the 16th century actively encouraged trade between Iran and the outside world, promoting a greater influx of settlers in Mughal India, particularly in the independent Shiite sultanates of the Deccan, such as Ahmadnagar, Bijapur, and Golconda. Between 1502 and 1722, Safavid Persia flourished as an expansive empire and a prominent trading hub. The Safavid court nurtured robust trade relationships with numerous countries, extending its influence even into Europe, while also making significant inroads into India, reaching as far as the Bay of Bengal. Around the same period, the Thai kingdoms in Southeast Asia began to rise as significant players in commerce and politics within mainland Southeast Asia. In 1531, a rebellion led by Thai and Khmer nobles in the Khmer Empire resulted in the establishment of Ayutthaya, strategically located on the lower course of the Chao Phraya River. Ayutthaya gradually gained prominence throughout the 14th century, emerging as a formidable political force in the region. Its economic might and military power surpassed other Thai kingdoms due to its active involvement in international trade. In the 1460s, Ayutthaya seized control of the Tenasserim coast and later captured Mergui in 1480, granting them access to the Bay of Bengal. However, in 1511, the Portuguese conquered Malacca, a vassal state of Ayutthaya during the 15th century, which impeded the kingdom's expanding commercial influence in the South China Sea. Consequently, the Siamese kings turned their attention to the western Indian Ocean in search of new trade opportunities. By the 17th century, the Mughal dynasty established dominion over Bengal and Orissa in South Asia, becoming the dominant power in the Bay of Bengal region. Archaeological and historical evidence indicates that following the Mughal expansion into the Bay of Bengal, communities of Indo-Persians began to settle in the Burmese city of Pegu and Malacca. By the early 17th century, small Indo-Persian populations also existed in Ayutthaya, but by the end of the 17th century, Ayutthaya emerged as the primary center of Indo-Persian activity in Southeast Asia. Historians have identified three key factors contributing to the growth of Iranian communities in Ayutthaya during the 17th century. Firstly, the increased instability of the Deccan sultanates in southern India played a significant role. Golconda in particular had strong political and religious ties with the Safavid Empire, sharing a belief in Twelver Shi'ism. The kingdom became a safe haven for Shiites from Iran and Mughal India who faced persecution from Sunni Muslims from time to time. Moreover, in the 17th century, various Deccan kingdoms had already initiated trade with the Siamese on the Tenasserim coast. Simultaneously, Safavid Persia under the reign of Shah Abbas II between 1642 and 1666 expanded its international commerce. During this period, Ayutthaya had already established a solid diplomatic relationship with China and Japan, positioning the Thai kingdom as a major trading port in Southeast Asia and an appealing destination for foreign merchants. In 1602, the Indo-Persian brothers Sheikh Ahmad and Muhammad Said arrived in the kingdom of Ayutthaya, likely for commercial purposes. During their stay, they married local Thai women and gained favor with the Siamese court under King Songtam in 1610. Sheikh Ahmad eventually attained a high position within Ayutthaya's Ministry for Maritime Trade, becoming the Minister of Trade for Indonesia and the Indian Ocean. Ahmad and other Iranians were granted land to establish a permanent village, complete with homes, a mosque, and a cemetery at Ban Kakkuti Chausen. Ahmad eventually rose to the role of Prime Minister, a position that several of his descendants would hold for several decades after. During King Songtam's reign, Ayutthaya and Indo-Persian merchants engaged in a thriving trade with the Deccan, exporting forest goods and elephants in exchange for textiles and luxury goods from the Islamic world. By the 17th century, Ayutthaya had emerged as a crucial trading port, connecting the Muslim empires in the west with China and Japan in the east. Consequently, the Siamese kings welcomed settlement from foreigners, leading to the rapid formation of an Indo-Persian community within Ayutthaya. Under the rule of King Prasad Thong, several Indo-Persians became deeply involved in court politics. Abdul Razak Jalani, a leader of the Indo-Persian community, headed the Ministry of Trade before being succeeded by another Persian named Aka Muhammad Astrabadi. Many Muslims held important positions within the capital and port cities across Ayutthaya during the 17th century. Despite the significance of Persians within Ayutthaya during this era, historical records documenting Persian-Ayutthaya relations are notably scarce. The most comprehensive source available is the Persian document known as the Ship of Suleiman, along with a few scattered European documents that mention the presence of Persians in Ayutthaya. Regrettably, it is likely that most Thai sources were destroyed during the invasion and sacking of Ayutthaya by the Toungoo in 1767. In 1683, the French missionary Francois of Caesarpolis, who resided in Isfahan, wrote to the King of France reporting that a Siamese embassy had arrived in the Safavid court. The German naturalist Combeferre, while en route to Siam and Japan, visited Iran in 1684 and also noted another Siamese embassy to the Safavid court. According to Combeferre, the Siamese ambassador sought naval assistance from the Shah against the Burmese in Pegu, presenting numerous gifts to the court, including a golden vessel, Chinese porcelain, Japanese lacquerware, and several rare birds. In response, in 1686, the Safavid dispatched an envoy to Ayutthaya led by Ibn Muhammad Ibrahim, who reported that there were at least 30 Persians serving in the Siamese court, and perhaps around 100 Persians residing in Ayutthaya. King Narai was said to have taken a keen interest in Persian culture and had adopted certain aspects of Persian food, dress, and architectural styles. According to Ibn Muhammad, Narai had maintained regular interactions with the Persians living in Ayutthaya since childhood, and members of the Persian community had played a crucial role in his ascent to the throne. Due to his close ties with the Persian community, several of them served as his closest advisors. According to an account from a French visitor to Ayutthaya named Guy Touchard in the 1680s, the kingdom displayed a notable level of tolerance towards Islam, and many elites actively participated in public celebrations honoring the Prophet Muhammad and his descendants. However, Ibn Muhammad's embassy in 1686 marked the final documented contact between Persia and Ayutthaya. In the 18th century, Safavid Persia faced internal and external threats that ultimately led to the Afghan overthrow of the dynasty, resulting in the severance of Iran from its Persian-speaking communities in India and Southeast Asia. Additionally, the Mughals annexed the Shiite Sultanate of Golconda in 1687, reducing the influx of Indo-Persians to Ayutthaya. Furthermore, the rise of another prominent foreigner, the Greek named Constantine Falcon, within the Siamese court diminished Persian influence. Eventually, Ayutthaya itself succumbed to a Burmese invasion in 1767, and like their Buddhist counterparts, the Indo-Persian community also suffered as a consequence of the collapse. Nevertheless, the Persian community continued to hold significant influence within Thai history. Many Indo-Persian families wielded political power within the Siamese Empire, with one of the most notable lineages being the descendants of Shah Ahmad. The Bunang family, believed to be descendants from Shah Ahmad, played a prominent role in the 19th and early 20th century Thai history. While the Bunang family reportedly converted to Buddhism in the late 19th century, they remained influential within the Chakri dynasty's court from 1782 onwards. Another branch of Shah Ahmad's family seemingly retained their adherence to Twelver Shi'ism and continued to hold a prominent position in Thailand until at least 1945. And that concludes our brief exploration of the Indo-Persian influence in the Kingdom of Ayutthaya. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe for more content. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments, and any suggestions for future topics would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Stay safe and take care.